What is going on, everybody? It is Big L here, and today we have our Week 4 battle against Coach T4U and his Boston Red Sox. After the loss last week, we're really hoping to get back in the win column. T4U has a really scary team, as you can see in front of you. I'm going to turn this music down in my ears a little bit because it's very loud. And he has the typings of Fairy and Flying. So a really interesting typing. His team is Tapu Fini, Pheasantipity, Tinkaton, Alucha, Gliscor, Mega Aerodactyl, Thunderous Therian, Noivern, Diancie, Murkrow, and Sylveon. So a pretty scary team. You can see the 6 he brought. You can kind of see the 6 he brought. Noivern's hiding behind Tinkaton's hammer over there. At team preview, the things that surprised me was no Hawlucha. Kind of surprised me. I thought Hawlucha would come. I felt like Acrobatics plus Close Combat was really good into my team, and I prepped for that a lot. And I was kind of surprised at no Pheasantipity. I thought Pheasantipity looked pretty decent into me. But those are the only things that really surprised me. I didn't do a lot of prep for Tinkaton. Unfortunately, I tell you what, every time I don't prep very much for Amon, that thing comes. But we'll see if we can play around it. I immediately was wishing I brought something. Can't remember what it was. I think it was T-Spikes on Nidoqueen, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because he only had one Pokemon that really would be affected by it, and that's the Sylveon. Which, yeah, we'd love to get the status on it. But you can see I brought the Nidoqueen, Grimmsnarl. I brought the Iron Tread, Seismitoad, Piloswine, and Togekiss. My dedicated lead this week was Seismitoad. I have Rindoberry on Seismitoad. I can live a Grass Knot from this Tapu Fini. With Tapu Fini getting Grass Knot and with the Thunderous Therian getting Grass Knot, I had Rindoberry on the Seismitoad because I really wanted Hazards up in this game. So we'll get into the game real quick, and I lead the Seismitoad, and he leads the Tapu Fini. So I have a set. One of my sets here is the Iron Treads. I have a weakness policy set. If I can get to +2 on my Iron Treads, then Tapu Fini is the only thing he has on his team that can live a hit. So I really my initial plan was lead Seismitoad, get Rocks up. I really wanted Rocks to chip down his team. But whenever I see the Fini in front of me, I'm like, just go for Poison Jab. Just go to get some damage on this thing, because this thing's a demon. I go for the Poison Jab, get some damage on it, and he goes for the knockoff, which is fair. If he doesn't have, if he didn't go for Grass Knot there, I assume he maybe didn't have it. And if this doesn't have it, then nothing on his team has it. So the Rindoberry is 100% pointless anyway. That's 100% fine. Here, I do some calcs and I think about what can he do for me. I really want Rocks up, so I decide I'm just going to go ahead and go for Stealth Rocks as he goes for a Moonblast, and it chunks me down pretty hard. It did 40.4%, and that put me at just under 40.2, like just under 41. So I knew another one would likely kill me, so I have to switch out. I go into the Nidoqueen as he just goes for the Defog. So now we know that this thing is not the set that we were really scared of. I was really scared of the Calm Mind set. I did a lot of prep for the Calm Mind set on Fini. So just a bulky Fini is a lot easier to deal with. I mean, it's still a problem, but it's a lot easier to deal with than the Calm Mind Draining Kiss set, which is what we were preparing for. So here, I don't expect him to want to stay in on the Nidoqueen. So I thought about going for Earth Power, but I was like, well, if he goes into like Gliscor, I don't know what kind of set he is on the Gliscor. So I decided to go ahead and go for the Ice Beam, maybe trying to catch the Gliscor coming in. But he goes out to the Tinkaton, which this thing, I realized quickly after hitting it with this Ice Beam, I was like, okay, what do I switch in on this? I don't really have a lot of switch-ins in this. So I decided to go out into Seismitoad and see what kind of set he's running. He goes for the knockoff, which is really unfortunate because I was in range of another knockoff. He could have gone for a knockoff here and maybe gotten the kill. So I couldn't switch out. I really wanted to keep all my items. So I decide, you know what? the things that Seismitoad is here was mainly here for aren't here. So I don't really need Seismitoad. I can see how fast this thing is. And we just go ahead and we let him go down. I go ahead and go out my Iron Treads. I need a way to threaten this thing out. At this point in time, I know an Earthquake will kill it. So I went on Iron Treads, even though this thing is my win con. I knew I was pretty safe to bring it in here. If he stays in and goes for a knockoff or something, that thing's just dead, and that's fine. I'm 100% fine with that. I go ahead and go for the Earthquake. I'm not really worried about anything coming out. I had plays if he went into one of the flyers on this Earthquake. I had a lot of plays that I could have made. I wasn't super concerned with him switching out. With him switching into one of the flyers and me wasting my Earthquake turn. But I will definitely take damage on the Feeny, as we know. This Feeny is one of the things that I need damage on for this Iron Treads to be able to potentially sweep later. So here, I go ahead and switch out into Togekiss. Togekiss seems like at this point in time, one of the members of my team that is most expendable, and it takes the least damage from Surf. And again, I don't see a lot of hazards on his team right now. Just Stealth Rocks potentially on the Gliscor. That looks like an offensive Tinkaton, so I'm not really concerned about Stealth Rocks on the Tinkaton. And so I'm like, well, I don't really need, if he's going to go for a knockoff, I don't need my item on Snips here. So I'm like, he switches out. I go ahead and go for the Air Slash. I want to keep that Feeny damage. It's down to 38%. If he stays in, I could get a flinch. If he goes out in the Sylveon, I can see based on that damage that he is physically defensive. So I'm just going to stay in and go for another Air Slash, because this is another thing I would love to have damage on. We get the flinch. We are Serene Grace. We go for another one. We get another flinch. Oh no, I thought we got two flinches. Never mind. He goes for the Wish, which is unfortunate. I'm just like, I'm going to stay in. I'm going to go ahead and go for another Air Slash. If the Sylveon wanted to stay in, it would be at lower health. If he goes out into something, either the Feeny or the Tinkaton, I assume, I want it to be at as low health as possible, and that's what happens. He goes out into the Feeny, gets the Wish up. He's back up to 70%, which is unfortunate. I decide to go ahead and go for another Air Slash, because why not? We get a little bit of damage on the Tinkaton, which, again, isn't that important. I have ground types that can easily revenge this thing. I go ahead and I decide to stay in and go for another Air Slash here, I roost, I'm sorry. Because unless he had Gigaton Hammer, he didn't kill me. So I decided if he goes for knockoff, I'm not really super concerned about losing my boots. So I just wanted to stay healthy. So here, I assume if he has Gigaton Hammer, he's gonna go for it this turn. I'm like, okay, if he has Gigaton Hammer, he's gonna go for it this turn. I'm gonna switch out. And he makes a really, really good play. He goes for knockoff again and knocks off my Scarf on my Nidoqueen, which is a really, really good play on his part. But now Nidoqueen is kind of in this weird place where she doesn't really outspeed anything, except for the Sylveon. She doesn't really outspeed anything. Maybe the Feeny, depending on how much or how little speed investment he has. So I'm like, okay. Again, the only thing that this thing can go for here that kills me is the Gigaton Hammer or whatever, Gigaton Hammer, I think. And I was like, I'm pretty sure if he had that, he would have clicked it last turn. If he doesn't have that, nothing he has can kill me. So I decided to stay in, and he goes for the Gigaton Hammer and knocks out Nidoqueen. That was a bummer. I thought Nidoqueen could put in some pretty good work this week, but this thing just shut it down. All the Pokemon that I could have, done work against, this thing just shut it down. He gets put that on Nidoqueen easily. So I decide I'm going to go out and do Piloswine, because he can't go for Gigaton Hammer 2 turns in a row. So I'm pretty free to just go ahead and go for an Earthquake. He's probably not going to want to go into any of his flyers. I could go for an Earthquake, get some good damage off. We get some good damage off on the Feeny. And I think I go out into Grimmsnarl here as he goes for the knockoff, which is kind of annoying again, but it's fine. We don't really need the light play. I go ahead and go for a Light Screen as he goes for the Moonblast. We take very, very little damage from that. He goes for the Moonblast as I just decide to go ahead and go for a Spirit Break. Because again, like I said, I want damage on this thing. If I can just take care of it, that's fine. I decide to stay in and just go for another Spirit Break. And I do the same thing the following turn. I know that with Light Screen up and I didn't expect to outspeed. I knew that with light screen up and it was -1 special attack, Hyper Voice wouldn't do too much to me. And us actually outspeeding played huge because he wasn't able to get a wish up, which is good. So the wish pass is done. The Feeny cannot recover any HP for the rest of this game, which means our win con is live. It's officially live because Feeny does not live a hit from Iron Tread. Our win con's live. I thought we were in a really, really bad spot whenever Nidoqueen went down. But yeah, our win con's live, which is huge. He goes out into Tinkaton. Here, I'm thinking about what I want to go for. I almost went for a Reflect here, but I thought, maybe I can get some better utility. I can maybe get a with a Thunder Wave. Maybe with a Thunder Wave off, I can outspeed it with Piloswine. So I go ahead and go for the Thunder Wave, which is good. He goes ahead and goes for the Gigaton Hammer, knocks out Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl, good job, buddy. You wore down the Feeny, and you got your first kill of the season. Top Wish Pass. I'm fine with that. So we go ahead, we go out into Piloswine. I go ahead and go for the Earthquake, as he goes for the knockoff, which is a bummer that he was faster. He said he calced that in game. He said he calced that 4 times to make sure I was not faster. But that's fine. Taking care of this thing is big. We go for an Earthquake, we knock it out, and that's 100% fine. I'm pretty sure he's not going to go out into the Feeny here, but he does. I was really surprised by that. But without my Eviolite, I don't live a hit, and Ice Shard doesn't kill. And I figure I need this potentially for some chip damage, because Ice Shard against the other 3 Mons he has remaining is very, very good, and Aerial here only has 18%, so I need to keep Piloswine alive just in case. So I go out into Togekiss as he goes for the Surf, does a little bit of damage to us. I go ahead, I think I go for Air Slash here. No, I go for Roost, that's right. I go for Roost in case he decided to go for another Surf. I'm perfectly content stalling out the Misty Train because I have Yawn. So he goes for an Air Slash, I went for an Air Slash, I get flinched, bummer. Same thing happens here, another one. I'm the one with Serene Grace. You're not supposed to get all these damn flinches, Noivern, okay? So here I go ahead and go for a Roost, and thankfully we are able to get it off. I think I go for another Roost here as he goes for the Air Slash. No, I go for the Yawn. Yeah, I go for Yawn. Yawn is one of our techs this week. I knew I wanted to be able to Yawn the Aerodactyl, potentially a Hawlucha. Because, them being off the ground means they're not affected by the Misty Train. So here, I go ahead and go for a Roost, predicting the switch. And that is perfect. I figured if he goes for Air Slash, again, I live it. And even if I get flinched, I get a free turn the following turn. Guaranteed a turn to sleep, I can Roost that turn. He goes into Aerodactyl. I know that unless he is even at max at full HP, my Togekiss lives an adamant Stone Edge from Mega Aerodactyl. So I'm like, okay, it's worth it to me here to go ahead and try to go for the Yawn to stop him from Dragon Dancing. So I go ahead and stay in. He goes for the Dual Wing Beat, gets a crit the first turn, which is kind of annoying, but not a big deal. We get the Yawn off. This thing cannot set up on us. I stayed in. I think I went for Roost that turn in case he decided to switch out. But now we know he's going to sleep for a turn. Now we can bring in the win con. We go into Iron Treads as he goes to sleep. I can easily just go for a Rapid Spin, and we get the speed boost. Here, Iron Head is a roll to kill. We don't get it, but that's actually really, really good for us because now we can outspeed. We go for another Rapid Spin to pick up the KO. Now we outspeed a Scarf Noivern. Scarf Noivern comes in. We go for the Ice Spinner, pick up that big KO. He goes out into Gliscor. He goes for Protect to get his Toxic Orb. We go for the Ice Spinner. Obviously, it doesn't do anything. The following turn, we go for the Ice Spinner. We knew it didn't KO. That's fine. We knew that unless he was Choice Banded, he could not kill us. We get our Weakness Policy prop. We go for another Ice Spinner on the Protect. We go for Ice Spinner again. We know he can't live it. We're +2. And he goes out into Feeny. And we click Earthquake. We pick up the kill. And that is your lot. Iron Treads picking up 4 kills. That thing, I loved that set whenever I came up with it. Um, the weakness policy didn't come into play as much as I thought it might, but it's all good because we are back in a winning position. GG to T4U. You know him. If you know my channel for a while, you know T4U and I have been pretty tight for a little while. It's always close whenever he and I battle. And that was a really close game. His team is super scary. We talked after the game, in the interview, and even after the interview. I think he might have some changes coming to his team. I do think his team is scary, way too scary for him to be 0-4. But yeah, it's good to get back. Like I said, good to get back in a winning position in the win column. It's also good to see a set that we really liked come through. Whenever Iron Valiant came just a little bit short last week with that fun agility set. But here in a second, we're going to hop right into the interview with T4U, and we will see you in a second. What is going on, everybody? It is Big L here, and I am here with T4U. If you know the channel, you know this guy. He's been in videos and stuff before. Friend of the channel. We just finished our battle, our Week 4 PWO battle. His team's in front of you. What's going on, man?
Not much. Getting over the pre-battle jitter or post-battle jitters, I guess.
I know, right? So, my first takeaway whenever I was looking at your team was I thought Calm Mind Feeney looked very scary. Like, I was really surprised you didn't bring the Calm Mindset.
So I was looking at your team, and I didn't want to bring Calm Mind because I didn't want to just get set up on by or encore locked by Valiant,
Okay.
which I was certain was coming. So even though I have flying, it's just faster than all my birds. So
Except Mega Arrow.
yeah, but booster energy is
Yeah.
faster than it, and he can't hold a scarf, so it's really just Noivern that can outspeed it.
Yeah. That's fair, I guess. I don't know. I looked at Iron Valiant for literally like a few seconds and didn't think it looked very good in this matchup at all. Like, weak to both your primary typings. That's never super ideal. And I also looked at Garchomp a little bit because you said you were surprised at not seeing Garchomp at the beginning of the game. But
I was very excited that everything that Swords Dance Gliscor had a hard time with wasn't there.
oh
All of the things.
yeah,
And then I never got it into the field in time.
you had a couple chances you could have gotten it in.
I know. I really think I should have brought it in when I brought in Noivern on the Yawn. I think that was my time, and I'm gonna regret that for a long time.
Yeah, that could have been, yeah, because you knew. Did you know that all I had was Air Slash at that point for an attacking move?
I thought there was a possibility you had Flamethrower, but I didn't think you had anything for Gliscor. I just needed to keep it above 75% because I'm pretty sure your Piloswine is Adamant.
Yep.
And Adamant Ice Shard does like 75% to my set.
Oh, I guess I never did. Did I not send you my paste?
Nope.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Here you go. I'm so used to you just having it because I.
That's true. I usually have it before the battle.
I'm so used to you just kind of having it. So there you go. I apologize.
Yeah, so I needed to be above 75% to be sure I lived that Ice Shard. So I couldn't bring it in unless I was sure I wasn't gonna eat more damage than that.
Yeah, I prepared pretty heavily for Mega Arrow. I was certain it would come. I did next to no prep for Tinkaton. Like next to
Tinkaton was great this match.
Oh, it killed it. That thing put in the fucking work against me. The knockoff, like between knockoff on it, I did not. When did Feeney get knockoff in Gen 9? I do not remember Feeney getting knockoff.
I feel like it got knockoff in Gen 8, but I might be wrong about that.
Oh, because like I've used Feeney before. I never remember having knockoff. So that was a surprise.
See, now,
like, turn 1.
Now I'm gonna look it up because I don't remember.
But yeah, losing the Rindo Berry. The Rindo Berry was there.
Wait. Hold on. Pause for a second. Finny's not even in Gen 9. It got it in Gen 8.
Oh yeah, it's not even in Gen 9. Yeah, we're stupid. So yeah, I definitely got it in Gen 8. Yeah. That's smart, guys. I thought Thundurus might come.
it was on the team. I had a really fun set that I was gonna bring, and then I just couldn't justify it against ground. I'll bring it a different week, so I'm not gonna tell you what it is yet, but it was very fun. I'll send you a message. I just don't want it
Oh,
on
yeah,
video.
you're good. You're good. Yeah, I thought because the Rindo berry was for grass knots.
I saw the Rindo Bear and I was like, I don't have a single grass move on this whole team.
No, I know. Like once, I figured if you had it on Feeney, you would have just potentially just clicked it turn one. So at that point, I was like, maybe he doesn't have it, but I tried to keep Seismitoad around, just to try to stop
Seismitoad
him.
wasn't on my bingo board. I didn't think you were bringing it.
I thought it had pretty good coverage into your team. Poison jab was spammable, good stealth rocker, and like I said, I was really scared of Calm Mind Feeney, so I really wanted to have a way to stop it from being able to spam surf. Because I was really scared. Like I said, I was scared to death of that thing. But yeah, I mean, this set is very, that's really defensive. Holy hell, that is max. Good lord. But yeah, that Gliscor set's cool too. I like that a lot.
I was so excited because everything faster than it beat. So it didn't have to be fast, and it just had to be strong. And then you didn't bring Valiant, which was the only thing that would be faster than it that I would be scared of.
Right.
Because you could have Ice Punch, or Icy Wind, I guess, but Ice Punch. And you didn't bring it. So all it needed to do was hit the field at full and get a Swords Dance off as you switched something out or did negligible damage.
Right. Yeah, that Gliscor set's really cool. I mean, I was ready for Gliscor. Gliscor was another Pokemon that kind of scared me. I was a little bit surprised at No Hawlucha, but I wasn't super surprised by No Hawlucha because against Fairy. I just figured it's pretty acrobatics, pretty spammable against me.
I figured Grimmsnarl would paralyze it and I'd get pissed off. I almost ran Lumberry Hawlucha this week.
That could have been cool. But yeah, that's why. It's one of the reasons I didn't have Parting Shot. I had T-Wave.
Yeah.
Was for that, and then yeah. Anything that I brought was a kind of a surprise.
Yeah, I'm pissed off at your Iron Treads because I thought I had this in the bag.
Dude, I thought I was gonna lose too. I thought it was over at one point. I was just but getting the yawn off on Mega Arrow was big.
Yeah, I shouldn't have let that go to sleep, but I didn't expect weakness policy, and I was pretty sure I'd be able to wake up and Aqua Tail it anyways, and then obviously that didn't happen.
Right. But I'm pretty sure I lived in Aqua Tail.
You do live in Aqua Tail, but you'd only be able to get one rapid spin off, and then Scarf.
Yeah. Scarf Noivern would have been able to pick me off with Flamethrower. Because I did that calc a couple times when Noivern was in earlier. I was like, okay, he has to be specs for that to be able to kill me, but I didn't want to risk getting burned. Because obviously if I get burned, then getting the weakness policy prop does nothing for me.
Yeah, it just breaks even.
Yeah, which I couldn't have. I needed to have the +2 to be able to Oko the Gliscor.
Yeah, I was so excited when I lived. If you didn't have the boost, I lived any Ice Spinner you had.
Yeah.
And I didn't think you were going to have Ice Spinner, but then it wasn't the bulky defensive mon that I thought it was going to be.
Oh no, dude! This was full offense. Full offense.
Well, I expected your offense to be Valiant and Garchomp. I wasn't expecting Treads to have to do heavy lifting.
That was kind of I thought I was. If you hadn't, I guess it wouldn't have mattered. I don't think there would have been any point where Pheasantipity soaking up T-Spike would have mattered, because most of the time that terrain was off the field, Tinkaton was in anyway, so that didn't matter. Because I almost didn't bring Scarf on Nidoqueen because I was like, I have no fourth move that really makes a lot of sense because I have Ice Beam instead of Thunder. I don't need Ice Beam and Thunderbolt.
Right.
But I was like, I don't really know what else to put here. There was like
I pegged Nidoqueen as Scarf the second I saw that nothing on your team was fast, but
except for
I still had to get rid of the Scarf before I could do anything.
Yeah. And then I was kind of hoping, like turn 3 or whatever it was, I was kind of hoping to catch Gliscor coming in. But yeah, Tinkaton makes.
Oh no, he wasn't coming in until I knew he was safe.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what set it was. It could have been like a bulky bulky defog roost set kind of deal. But yeah, but it was another really really close game. Seriously, I think the first two games we played literally came down to the last turn, and then the last game we played was a couple seasons ago. It was close too. I don't
Yeah,
remember
it's been
exactly.
a while.
Yeah, it has been. The last season without Terra, like season 13, I think.
Something like that.
I had Sun. That team sucked. I hated that team. I made playoffs, but I hated that team with a passion. I
I need
was
to find a way
come
into
back to
playoffs.
use Raging Bolt, and then I just hated using it. But oh well. But anyway, dude. If you don't have anything, everything on your team looked pretty, like I said, pretty standard. What I was expecting.
You caught me off guard with Seismitoad and obviously Iron Treads. I'm so mad. It's the only item I didn't steal the whole game.
I know.
Let's see, right?
I couldn't let you have it.
I got the scarf, I got the clay, I got the berry, I got the violet, I got the boots. I got all 5 of the other items except the weakness policy that cost me the game.
I could not let you have that item. Because like every time I thought about switching it in on Feeny, I was like, if I switch it in on a Surf, I can get this kill. But I was like, knowing him, he's probably just gonna go for another fucking knockoff because he just goes for knockoff all game long. The double knockoff. I think you went for whenever Togekiss was in on the Tinkaton. You went for us. You went for back to back knockoff. That's why I went into Nidoqueen. And you got Nidoqueen Star.
Oh yeah.
I was like, that
I
son of a. I thought if you had
Misty
Gigaton
Terrain
Hammer,
up.
I thought if you had Gigaton Hammer, you would go for it that turn.
That's why I didn't go for it because I was like, I know I live a flamethrower. Misty Terrain is up, so I can't be burned.
Mm-hmm.
He'd have to get like 6 flinches in a row, which he's not going to do.
Oh
and
no,
also
I wasn't. Yeah, you outspeed me anyway. I had enough speed to
You're
outspeed.
not staying in.
That speed on Togekiss just outsped 0 speed Gliscor. That's all that speed was for.
Yeah.
Because I had the HP
or almost max.
Yeah, the HP and defense on Togekiss. I lived a Stone Edge from Mega Arrow.
I don't think I've brought a rock move on Mega Arrow all season.
Which is crazy. I mean, I guess it doesn't get any better Tough Claws boosted. Does it?
No, I've thought about running Hone Claws. No, it has no Tough Claws boosted rock moves.
That sucks. They should make one.
But Hone Claws Stone Edge is going to show up at some point once I'm convinced I don't need to get faster.
I mean, 150 is hard to outspeed. But I don't know, I get it. It's hard to not want to bring Dragon Dance. It's a great Dragon Dance mon. But yeah, like I said, aside from the Tinkaton, I kind of prepped for everything. And then that Tinkaton, it shows Tinkaton put in a lot of work. And yeah, glad I was able to shock you with the Seismitoad, which didn't do anything, and the Iron Treads though, especially.
Iron Treads was so good.
Yeah, that set was kind of my baby this week.
You got to send that video to Craft. Appreciate it.
Oh, he's a big Iron Treads guy, or just
he's a big Dawn fan guy.
Just wants to see the heat. Oh, hey, you can watch my channel. It'll be up in a week. Hey, I'm just saying, Craft, if you're watching this, thanks for watching, buddy. I appreciate it. but I think that'll do it for us. If you watched this long, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Make sure you like, comment, share. This was another really, really good battle. Like I said, we always play well when we play. We always have a good game against T4U. It's always fun to play one of the homies too. Love to do that.
That was a fun.
So, thank you guys very, very much again, and we will catch you in the next one. Have a good one.
Goodbye.